Hello, chess chicos and chess chicas. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a expression that I have been using lately quite a bit, or I rather noticed lately that I have been using for a while, and I wanted to reflect on it and share with you this idea. I think that this is going to be very handy for both players and coaches alike. So let's talk about what I mean when I talk about rewiring someone's chess. Very often in my coaching regimen, I find myself looking at a position and say something along the lines of, if your number one candidate moving this position is not X, Y, or Z, your chess thinking is not correctly wired. We need to fix it. Now, this is perhaps a very confronting way to, deliver a message, but I think it's also very effective and to the point kind of communication that immediately highlights that A, there is an issue, and B, that there is a reasonably easy fix to this. And I will stop talking now without context, and instead I'm going to show you a game which a student of mine played recently, and then we sort of started a conversation around it in typing. We haven't had a lesson yet, but I'm going to show you roughly what the lesson is going to look like. So student is white, and we arrive at the critical position very, very quickly, or rather very soon. I think they played a4 here, as in my student. Then the opponent played bishop g4. Then we played d5, knight e5, and bishop e2. Now, once again, we did not have a lesson. We didn't talk about this. We typed on a chat platform about the moves. He sent me the game. I went through the game quickly, and then I just took a few mental notes about the key points. And as I was going through the game, at this point, I said to him, so how come that we didn't play here knight takes e5? And there was a noticeable pause on the line, so to speak, on the chat platform before he started typing his answer back, and he goes like, can't do that, the queen is hanging, no? And I'm like, oh, okay, we need to have a chat about this. My answer to him was that is exactly the reason why you needed to look at knight e5 here. And this is where the miswiring is. So at this point, if you are a coach, you must, absolutely must notice that there is here a giant gap in the knowledge that we immediately need to fill. Like, as far as I'm concerned as a coach, I feel like we can't move on from here without me showing you the following batch of, whoa, I don't know what I just did then, of information, starting with something very basic, which I think is missing from students' knowledge. And that is none other than the legal's mate, which is, by the way, the very first famous short chess game I have ever seen in my life, and it has left an absolutely everlasting impact on me, which basically is introduced by knight takes e5, and then after bishop takes bishop f7, king e7, knight d5 is the legal mate. For those of you who are not familiar with the background and the history and the naming of this mate pattern, it's not legal as in the rules legal. It's named after, I think, a French nobleman whose surname was the legal, hence the naming. When I was younger, I used to know his full name. So this is the basic pattern. I'm willing to place a serious bet that student was not familiar with this. Now, then you start building on this and you go like, okay, so what if knight c6? Can we still do the legal mate? Answer no, because after 95, the bishop is defended. However, we still have a tactic that we can play for here, which is h3, forcing the bishop back to h5. And now knight e5 works because the bishop again is unguarded, which is the key concept in all of these early tactical tragedies, that we are creating a pin with an unguarded piece. That is the source of the tactical motive. The reason why it works is because, just like in the legal mate, if they take back, we can pick off the bishop. And so here in the knight c6 line, we also have the same story with h3, bishop h5, knight e5. And now if they take the queen, we have the exact same checkmate with knight d5. And here there's a beautiful variation because knight e5 is about to pick off the bishop on c4 too. Not good enough because we take here and check is going to regain the knight and white still wins. Now you could say that this is way too far-fetched, especially for a low-rated player, to connect the dots and then go like, based on the knowledge of this, they should have found that. I would argue that that is already, I think, a strong enough memory, especially if explained well and described that the reason why it works is because of the unguarded pinning piece. But of course there is more to it, because alongside this we also should learn fairly early on another very common trick, which looks like this. Bishop g4, same story, early pin, bishop on g4, d5, knight e5, and lo and behold, the first move we look at, of course, is knight takes e5, because now we come in very, very strong with the check on b5. And after c6, d takes c6, incredibly enough, there is a fair bit of theory to this, but believe me when I tell you this is winning for white. Right? The idea is that if you take this, I can take b7 and a8, it's in fact mate in 2. But even if we dodge that bullet, and let's say we play a6, I can go c7 check, takes, 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 and now I can insert even knight takes f7 if I want to, hitting both rooks, and then take d1, and white is up a pawn, much superior structure, completely winning position. Yeah, and then on top of that, you even have another version of this, which is even more winning, which is the Sicilian, the C3 Sicilian tragedy, which once again is even stronger because black doesn't even have the blockade with the checks. So what I think is that student has never seen any of this at all, which you could say that, hey, but you are the coach. Yes, it is true, except I haven't been for long enough the coach, and I'm certainly not the first one who should have, but I'm not going to go down that path, show them these motives. Now my job as a coach, as soon as I notice the miswiring, the misteaching, or the lack of this knowledge, is to step in and fill that gap. And I'm even thinking that I might turn this into a video series where I'm going to highlight these classical cases, and not many of them are this obvious, by the way. As you climb the ladder, they get dramatically more obscure, less commonplace, and so on. But the idea is that there are certain concepts around which you can, easily build a video where you go like, if you didn't look at that, that means we need to readdress this issue. These are the positions we need to look at. And now you have a newly acquired knowledge. I think that this is one of the rare cases in chess where you can very, very quickly, with limited time, limited effort, limited input, make a world of a difference. Because I guarantee you that once you see these examples and you play through them and you admire their beauty and you admire the mechanism, how they work, there is absolutely not a chance that you play again a game like Student has with this position, and the first thing that you look at is not knight takes e5. Not a chance. Now, I would like to highlight, though, for fairness sake, that in this position, knight takes e5 is not the best move. But that is completely, absolutely 100% beside the point. Because Student didn't even, existed for a second in that universe where this became a candidate move. And by the way, it is not bad. It does work. It's just not best. The engine really likes queen b3 here with pursuing the a5 idea. And fair enough, after knight takes, pawn takes, the bishop is hanging. It has to go away. And wherever it goes after a5, black's position is just a red hot mess. Everybody's back rank festing and it's not looking pretty. But tactically, knight e5 still does work because black is going to lose the queen here no matter what. So that was an example of what I like to call if you haven't thought about XYZ, we need to rewire your chess. This is what it looks like, ladies and gents. And I'm very excited and passionate, as you can probably tell, about this topic and this approach to, knowledge and potential gaps in the knowledge. So on that note, I'm going to conclude this video. But I very much am thinking that I will be committing a bit of time and effort to turning into a series. So let's see how well received this video turns out to be. And yeah, we are going to take it from there. And here I'm going to drop a little bit of a cliffhanger. Very, very, very soon, potentially next video, I'm going to announce a giveaway with a prize that, trust me, you wanna have. So stay tuned, watch my videos, because you might be the winner. Wow, nice Hungarian accent there. The winner of a prize that I'm pretty sure any chess lover, Hungarian accent ×2, would love to have. So without further ado, please don't forget to smash that like button. Please leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.